Hello and welcome back to part number 2 of the CBR1000rr FireBlade build. And today I've got a whole lot of parts that are going to be going on to the bike. But before we get into that, I just wanted to go through something that I got done off camera, and this was replacing basically the throttle cables and the throttle tube itself, because before it would stick when you'd rev it, but now it is absolutely dialed in. So really happy with that. The only other bit I am going to do off camera is probably get this bolt out down here, but I've got a right angle adapter for the drill just because dropping the subframe is a pain, so should be able to get it on and get it done. But in today's episode I thought I would go through all the parts I've got. Obviously we're going to be putting them on. Before that I thought it would make more sense to kind of give the bike a nice clean, get it all nice and clean and tidy before putting all the new parts on. So we're going to be doing that first. But before that, I thought I'd show you the parts that we've got. So first up in this box, we have got a new headlight unit. This just needs all of basically the bulbs from the old one. But I got this for £35, absolute steal. Then in this box as well, we have the rear foot assembly. So it's got the obviously the footrest, and then it's got the brake lever as well. It's the whole unit. I managed to get it for cheap, so I thought I might as well buy it, but I'm probably only going to be putting on the silver part. I'm not going to need to put on the, the reservoir and bleed the brakes. So yeah, nice and easy. Then we have got some nice ASV style levers. They're black with little red accents. I don't know if you can see as well. It says CBR1000rr on there, so that's pretty cool. And then in our next box, we have got a lovely Renthal chain, nice gold DID sprocket. This might not go on today. We'll see if it's got all the bits I need, like the split link. Next up, we've got Domino grips, standard, nice grey and black ones, about £20, something like that. The Renthal chain and sprocket was, I think, about £140 as well. Now we're getting into the Chinese parts. We've got some nice indicators. They're like smoked black ones, pretty cool. Annoyingly, they haven't come with the connectors because I bought the adapters, which have, I don't know if you can see, that's to go into the blade, and then it's got these bits, and I thought, the end of these would have it. Nope, I'm gonna have to crimp them on, but if I've got them, I'll do it today. If not, I'm gonna have to order them. And those cost me, I think, £25. They're a little bit nicer quality. So next up we have the mirrors. So I got the smoked version, looks a bit nicer. Obviously this bit articulates. They meant to fold, I couldn't get them to fold, but they should. And they've got the correct connector in there as well. Those cost me 35 quid as well. Next up, we've got the GB Racing engine covers. These are not real, these are Chinese ones, but 25 quid, all I wanted to do was cover the scratch, so these are perfect. They're not really to protect the engine. For me, it's more for looks, so they were, 25 quid, can't go wrong. And then lastly, we have got the exhaust. I have no idea what exhaust it is. If you recognise it, let me know, but this should be a little bit quieter. I've got the link pipe, but this does fit, so just going to slap it straight on, and hopefully, hopefully it quietens the bike down just a little bit. Okay, so that is all the parts just chilling there. I've got all of my cleaning supplies. I think the most important one is going to be this motorcycle degreaser. I'm basically just going to tidy up anything I can, I don't want to jet wash it because obviously all the electrics are out, but I'm just going to give it the best tidy up I can before I put the new parts on. Obviously I can kind of neglect the chain and sprockets because we've got a new one, but it doesn't need too much, just, a little bit here and there, and then we can start putting the new stuff on. Okay, so that is the bike all cleaned up. Looks a lot better. It's not been the most full detail I've ever done. It's a little bit grubby in places, but I can't be asked to to spend all day cleaning it. I'd rather put the parts on. So what I'm going to do first, I think, is do the exhaust. That's probably the bit I'm most excited for. But before that, because we've got this little mounting bracket here, I am going to change the footrest and the rear brake. Before that, I'm actually going to do a little sound test with the Delcovic on, and then I'm going to do a comparison to the new exhaust. So let's get it started up. I've got a little audio recorder, so yeah. So yeah, still pretty loud. So let's get all this swapped out and then I'll come back and do another sound check. Okay, so that is the exhaust and the footrest done. Actually decided to go on and put the Black Widow link pipe on because with the original Delcovic one, it would have been hitting the swing arm here. Obviously no good, but yeah, footrest and the brake lever all sorted, all dialed in, the brake switch. This was a bit of a pain in the arse, and so was this, as had to cut the old one off. The old man gave us a little hand with that. Very nice of him. But yeah, it looks pretty good. And it's nicer that these two grades of metal match. The, I don't know where it's actually gone. I think it's gone in the bin, but what is it in here? Yeah, you can kind of see this one's slightly more golden in metal color than that one. So it did look a bit odd. And this is nice and tucked away as well. But as promised, I was going to do a little sound check, so let's get us started up. Not all too different, still loud as fuck. I think it's got a little bit more back pressure than the previous one, which was just a fucking 3.5 inch. Sounds pretty good. Yeah, not too much different. But yeah, now I don't have a smashed in exhaust and this is nice and tucked away. The carbon's gonna match the carbon engine covers that I've got. I'll also put in a little before and after of the Delcovic, and I actually found out this is a Black Widow. It said on the link pipe, so I'll put in a comparison of the Delcovic versus the Black Widow now. And what I think I'm going to do, because it's been on and off raining, it's getting dark, it's like 3 o'clock, I'm going to cut to tomorrow where I'm hopefully going to be putting on the rest of the parts if it's dry. If it's not dry, I'm going to be in the shed, so I'll see you then. Okay, and it is the next day. We are back and we're in a different location. We are in the shed slash my gym because the weather outside is crap. It's actually New Year's today. New Year's Eve was yesterday, so I'm a little bit hungover, so it's fine. We're going to make it work. We're back with the blade. Done some, actually only done one thing since the last video. My father was actually kind enough to drill out this bolt and re-tap a new thread in for the rear mudguard. So that's awesome. That's another job done. But in today's video, I've got all these parts that I wasn't able to get on yesterday. They are going to be going on. So first up, I think we're going to do the front end. Maybe we're going to do these domino grips, which I showed previously, and the levers as well. I'm going to fit the mirrors and just test them with the wiring and make sure they work fine. Same with the light, because of how the front end of the blade is designed. I'm going to have to, so like these little tabs go in here, like that. So they sit in there like that. But I don't think there's any other way to secure it. I think how it works is you attach the top end of the fairing to this, and then the mirrors also attach the fairing, so it all kind of works together. So I don't think I'm going to be able to get this like on with the mirrors today until I get the fairing. But I think I'm going to get in my old hardware from the other lens and just make sure everything works really. And also, shout out this angle, this, I don't know what to call this angle, the God cam, but I hope that's going to help me out. So it's going to be fun. Then I think we're going to get the rear indicators on. I'm going to have to crimp on the little connectors for that. And I think, it's weird, it's got this, let me show you. It's got this bit here, which I might actually cut off. Focus on that, please. Which I might actually cut off. And then the only other thing that I will be doing is the engine covers. First, I'm gonna do the grips. Nice easy one, so let's do it. Okay, that is both the grips done. Turns out my head GoPro was not recording this entire time, so that's fantastic. Hopefully won't make that mistake again. But yeah, hairspray method worked pretty well. So next up, on the front end, I think we are gonna do the levers. So gonna get the old ones off and yeah, see you in a sec. Okay, so ran into a little bit of an issue with the brake lever. It just straight up doesn't fit. So that's fantastic. It doesn't have a little hole for the actual master cylinder to go in. I don't know if you can see that in there. Doesn't have that. This side fits fine. That's all nice and lovely. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to get a new one of these, to be honest, which is a bit of a piss take, but is what it is. Next up, I think I'm gonna do the mirrors. Obviously, I'm just gonna sit them on there like that and just test the wiring out, that kind of stuff. Make sure they all work nicely. Grips look good, but yeah, it feels nice. Obviously this side feels a bit better. Do the mirrors and then yeah, continue on. Okay, and that is the mirrors. Test fitted, basically. They're all plugged in. Glad I went for these because all the wiring's correct. Didn't need to do anything with those. I've got this one folded up and I made sure they're the folding ones because not all of them actually folded. Glad these ones do. They come with this little side marker, which I think is this one here. If I don't like it, I might disconnect it. But just show you, they work. They flash at the correct rate. If I put them on, they'll flash faster if I put them on their individual side because I don't have any indicators on the back. But yeah. Don't like that snap sound, but I'm not going to be folding them in all too often. Did run into a bit of an issue with this one. I plugged it in the wrong side and actually pulled this yellow wire out of this connector. So just crimped on a new connector as a single wire, so it was fine. That is what I'm going to be doing on the rear, crimping them on. So now that is done, I will probably just leave them up like that. Out of the way so I can test all the indicators in one go. Next up, I think I'm not gonna fit the headlight yet because obviously it has to have all the fairing on. I'm gonna do the GB Racing, the fake GB Racing engine covers now, and then we'll be onto the indicator, and I think that'll be it for all the parts. So let's get right on that. Okay, so engine covers are on, monster in hand. But yeah, they've done exactly what I wanted them to do. They've covered that massive gash in the engine casing, which is fantastic. They look really nice. I think the carbon is going to match the carbon on the exhaust nicely. The only thing I've got left to do now is to just torque them down. I've got it set at 10 Newton meters of torque, which is what is recommended. So you should hear a click. There you go. Let's do it in a cross pattern. Click. And let's go back to this one. Click. And there we go. Bosh. Really nice. Really happy with them for £25. Obviously not genuine. Don't need them to be functional. I just wanted to cover that scratch. Looks really sweet. It's coming together. So I've just got the other side to do. So I'm going to do that now. And then we will be working on the indicators. Got the lovely GB Racing covers on. And I've just spent the last 5-10 minutes modifying the indicators to go on. So the first thing I did was, I don't know if you can see, this basically doesn't come with, focus on that, doesn't come with the little connector ends. So I've crimped on, come on, you can do it, camera. So I've crimped on some ends, and then I've cut off this little rubber piece there so that it's gonna sit flush against there. Then we've got a washer to go on. So I'm gonna fit this one, do the same to this one here, and then show you the result. Okay, and that is the rear indicators on and sorted. They all work. So I've only got one issue. So if I put my hazards on, You can see the fronts, and hopefully you can just about see the rears. All blink at the correct speed, but if I turn that off and switch it to right, for example, they blink too quick. So I'm gonna need an indicator flasher relay to cope with, obviously, the change of the LEDs at the rear. I think it is this one at the front here. So I'm gonna get that ordered, but it's not going on the road for a little bit, so that is absolutely fine for now. And yeah, just a quick little recap of what we got done today. So we got one of the grips, oh sorry, both of the grips, one of the levers. So actually, interestingly, this lever on the right is exactly the same as one off the GSXR 750 that we've got. And that's from Lextech. So I'm literally just gonna order that exact same one. It is gonna be in black, so I won't have the red accent, but I'm just gonna get that one because it is 100% fit, because we test fitted it, me and my dad. So annoying they didn't work, but I'm gonna get that sorted. So yeah, domino grips, one lever, mirrors, which obviously are just loose on for now, with the connectors all working fine. Then we did the GB Racing engine covers, which looks sweet. And then obviously the rear indicators as well, which I'm gonna get some close-ups, but look pretty sweet. All the wirings tucked away down there. And then it is just the relay that I need to change. So let me get my phone. Let's see where we're at. So stuff that hasn't arrived is bar ends. There is a bar end in there. It's quite recessed, so I might have to cut a little bit of this grip off. But there is the inner clip-on weight has cracked off where it had a crash. So I'm just gonna get a new one of those, and hopefully that means the weight or the bar end will come out further. But I am waiting for other bar ends. What else we got? Air boxes I'm waiting for, but no biggie because they will be going on with the fairing. Plate, no biggie with that as well because this isn't on the road yet. The fairing mounting bracket for the other side, waiting for the fairing as well. So pretty much there with everything that's to go on. It is mainly just the fairing now. Stuff that I am yet to buy, I'm gonna do a whole set of pads because the front and rear pads are basically finished. I think I am gonna do some frame sliders as well, just because the fairings will be mint condition. I will be really pissed if I, drop it or slip at slow speed. I'm gonna see, I don't actually know what bulbs I have in the other headlight. When I get that one, I'll see. I'm tempted to just get some nice white bulbs because the rear brake light is a nice white one. And it just looks a bit cleaner, What else? Map sensor, because I've got an engine light. I've got two blinky lights on idle. That's apparently the map sensor. Bar ends, new levers, and indicator relay. So basically, aside from the fairing, we are so very nearly done with this build. It is just the fairing I'm waiting for. I think it's going to be here. It's the 1st of January now. I think it's going to be here on the 20th of Jan. So this video will be coming out soon, so stick around for part 3. And that's kind of it. There will be a period of time where nothing's getting done for this, unfortunately, but hopefully you're patient enough to wait for part 3. I'm getting them out as quick as I can. It is only going to be a 3-parter, I think. There might be a 4th part, which I think I'm going to do that as the review. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. If you've not seen the first one, go back and watch that as well. Hopefully you have. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I will hopefully see you in part number 3 when we have some fairings for this bad boy. But yeah, see you later.